everybody! I'm Mark from SoonExistent, and I have a special relationship with video games. That sounds weird.
Fuck!
Here at SoonExistent, we have an on-running joke that every Tuesday we play a fighting game and call it Tekken Tuesday. The only issue, it's any fighting game and we don't play Tekken. So, I'm gonna be starting this off with Tekken, so we can call it Tekken Tuesday. Ooh, ah. On a technicality, we did talk about Tekken. On a downside, it was the very first thing we talked about, so. In every video, I'm gonna give 4 points of the game. The history of the game in the real world, the story of the game in universe, fandom, people who play, and the future of the games. The fourth one is sort of like a give me. It doesn't really matter. More just to end it. Back in December of 1994, games were getting their legs from arcades, and Japan was booming with prime game opportunities. Making game after game, capturing their audience. Though that really could just be hyperbole and nostalgia. But hey, I've been playing games for 22 years of my life, so. But what isn't a lie is games needed to be having a revival because of the hit game E.T. for the Atari. Because that was a shit show. But if you don't know, Atari made so many copies of E.T. for the Atari that they had to literally put it in a landfill. And ever since then, the game was so badly programmed and like so badly rushed that it just put a sour taste in everybody's mouth for games. So for what basically felt like decades, people have been trying to get games better and better, and like been producing new content to get that space back to where it was. Arcades. And let me tell you, the game was first released in Japan, and when moved to America, it took the world by fucking storm. Though, by this time, games have made a pretty substantial comeback. But little did we know the impact Tekken, specifically, would have on the world. Because it's 3D. To make a long story short, it's about a fighting tournament. As is most games. Most fighting games. Surprise! To make a long story even longer, it is about a specific family starting up a tournament to find the next generation of fighters. Essentially to see who's stronger. Heihachi is the first member we meet and fight as the way of training the next generation. Throws the losers in volcanoes. That's about it. Only the strong survive. Though, in the game, we do play as Kazuya, who is in the new Smash Brothers, by the way. If you're watching this, you probably already knew that. Who is the son of Heihachi. Was given the demon gene from his mom, who had a long line of history with it in their family. And honestly, this is where it gets complicated. So I'm just gonna be linking you a entire showcase video that I found on the internet that I watched that helped like actually understand the story. It's actually a pretty good watch. Fandom. This is gonna be a difficult one. So, it has an entire spectrum of games depending on how deep they have played, really. On the surface level, you really have the fighting game casual players who are basically button mashing because they don't exactly know the moves and are winning sometimes. but like it's having fun with it and don't really know the story. But the more deeper down the rabbit hole you go, the more toxic the fandom becomes, especially with any sort of fighting game. For Tekken specifically, it goes basic casual fighters. Hey, I know the story. The story is pretty good, but I'm not that very good. I know the story and I'm pretty good. And jump straight to I have an entire fucking controller that I custom made that way I can fight in tournaments and win almost 90% of the time. But at the very, very, very bottom is those people who hate, who only play one specific character and will despise anybody who plays anybody else. Literally anybody else. Again, same for any and every fucking game known to goddamn man. So take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, just if you're gonna be playing, just be careful about anybody who means the character King. He has one specific move that will just irritate you so bad. Just be careful. Just be careful. Now this is the last point that we were talking about Tekken. The future of Tekken. There's how do I say this? 10 games. Despite the newest game being Tekken 8. There's 2 spin-offs, kind of, just in between things, and multiple Tekken 2s. Like subsection of subsection. Why? Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest with you. 8 main games, 10 Tekken specific totals. I mean, it ranges from the same fighting game, the same story, different characters, to the same fighters, different story. Which is a huge fucking circle. Also, there's a slight spin-off game called Pokken, which is a Tekken style fighting game with Pokemon. It's actually pretty cool. I played it. It's nice. So, Tekken specifically has pioneered, essentially, the 3D fighting game. No, 3D two-player fighting game. I say 3D because you move around the map, always facing each other, but you can side strafe if need be. Whereas Street Fighter started with the 2D side by side, and is what we're talking about next week. If you made it this far, thank you everybody for stopping by and essentially listening to me ramble. Because I love talking about games, and I know I was technically reading off a script, but it's more of a guide points of what to talk about. That way I can actually keep this somewhat there. And I don't play much Tekken, so I can't really speak for the story. That's why I'm linking the video in the description. And putting in the time card. Maybe, if I'm allowed to. Thank you all for making this a very fun year. I know it sounds like it's gonna be the end of the fucking thing. But no, I mean, it's the end of the video. This is gonna be the very first video of SoonExistent in 2025. We started in 2020, but we haven't really been keeping up with stuff. I mean, we've had videos here and there about multiple of us, but you also should, know. But you also should know us individually. Hi, I like video games. That's about it, really. So long, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And as always, as we say in the stream, what you want doesn't exist. Fight for it. make it. Bye, everybody. If you want to catch more of us, I'm gonna be making a monthly stream where we just go on for however long, playing a random game, chilling, vibing. It's gonna be on a Saturday. It's always on a Saturday. Saturday is usually the best time for people because life happens. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be grand. It's gonna be good.
Marc, it's over. Kill it.